Alright everyone, we're out at Nelson Hills today. I'm with my buddies Kyle and Colin, and we're going to ride a trail out to what we call a soccer ball. And it's a radio on top of a peak. Nelson Hills is open riding, so there's many ways to get there, so this is just the way we took. But there's many ways you can go from almost any direction. But it's really rocky, it's tough on your tires, and there's a lot of rocks that can kick you out. Dips and everything else, so here we go. This place is full of hills, climbs, and descents. You use a lot of your brake for the twists and turns, and there's dips. So I noticed my rear brake is just getting softer and softer and softer as we go along here. I look down, and the rear caliper is wet looking. So I'm like, oh, there's a leak somewhere. One of the crushed washers maybe it's leaking or something like that, or the piston. But what it was is just the bleed screw was loose, which unfortunately I should have pre-flighted that before we left, but I didn't. So anyways, I ended up having no rear brake from the whole entire ride here, which made it tricky going down hills, and when you had quick little dips, twists, just had to ride a little bit more cautious than I was planning to do, but still made it through. A good little climb here. The 250 actually did really good. Anything that had some traction on it, it would sail right up it. Or if I had to go slow and tractor it, it got the grip, it had the torque, and it was great. But if it was sandy, I was missing my 450. We just rode the Los Coyotes Hare and Hound yesterday, the day before this ride, and I didn't have a chance to go over this bike because I made the switch from my 450 to this 250. Anyways, there was a blown fork seal here, and some of these dips, like this one, boom, I just was bottoming out. It kind of hurt my wrist. It made the rest of the ride really smooth, but those big dips, I needed that other shock working. Kind of making our way over to the soccer ball. I've been there before, and I'm going a different route. I mean, there's so many different routes you can take, so I'm just trying to pick some nice rocky, nasty terrain for my buddies. Kyle hasn't ridden in a while, and Colin I haven't ridden with before, so I don't know what he's used to, so I'm just throwing stuff at him. go riding solo, you tend to ride a little bit slower. When you go riding with your buddies, who are all pretty good, you tend to ride a lot faster. So this is buddy pace. It's not race pace, but it's definitely faster than I'd be riding by myself. Kyle gets the inside pass on me there. We go over this rim there, and it's a really steep drop off. And my rear brake is almost gone. So I turn the engine off and do the old clutch for the rear brake on this hill. It's really rocky and gravelly. Kyle going up the other side and gets his tire kicked out by a rock. You'll see him out on the left here. So he's out in left field there, so I get the pass back on him. It cracked me up. So I'm gonna be the one who dumps the bike first. I like to be first, you know. So there you go, my first spill of the day. Not too bad. Do a little pick it up, do a little pivot back on the trail, and we're going back up. But you know, one's not enough. You might as well get both of them out of the way, you know, early, so you're not tired. So there's another one coming up. This one's gonna be a bad one though. I'm gonna, instead of going on the inside of the trail on this climb right here, I'm gonna go on the outside, and there's gonna be a big hole coming over. Boom! Oh, that rung my bell. I smacked my head on the ground there. Bike goes sliding down the hill. It's so gravelly.
My bad.
And the only way out is just to slide the bike down more and more, and finally get it to where I can stand it up, and I'm gonna side hill it through this real steep, loose gravel over back to the bottom of the trail, and then I'll ride it back up again. So this little side hill action I was doing is just tough. The rocks are just giving way. The nose is digging in. If I tried to get any speed, the rear tire would just dig a hole. So I just had to be real soft and not fight it. If the front end started to dig in, I would just angle it down a little bit more. But I was able to get back to the main line and get back to where I crashed.
Not sure where you go from here. Got no rear brake on this thing either.
So the tires I run, I got a fatty golden tire in the front, and then I run a 525 cheater from Shinko in the rear. And today I think I lowered it to 8 psi. Look at this step up coming. Get it? Yeah. Getting better at those. Those used to scare the hell out of me, but now I like them. But The Shinko is not an expensive tire. It's not a true gummy. If you're going to be in really wet slick, I would go with a true gummy tire. But it does good for the type of riding I do for just the everyday trails. You know, it's got the tall knobs on it for the sandy conditions, and it's soft enough rubber that it still grabs in the nice dry rock conditions. The front tire, the fatty, I guess I should try more front tires. I just like that big front tire. Now this bike runs tubes, and my 450 I run tubeless, so I can't run as soft as I normally would run. On the tubeless, I'll run it down on my normal trail ride, like 4 to 5 psi. But the tubes, I don't want to risk running that low, having a pinch flat. Ooh, look at this drop off right here. That's steep. That front fork, the one that's left, is taking a beating. It needs his buddy. Got here, well, the trail goes straight down. That was extremely steep, but without that rear brake, I just was like not about it. And then here you got a nice little drop off. Instead of hitting that, it chickened out, which I should have just launched the bike. Next time, launching the bike. I would have got that. I know I could do that. This part of the trail was really fun. Real flowy, a lot of just like roller coaster up and downs, cresting the hill and then going down and coming up again. It was still a lot of rocky. You had to be careful, and sometimes the downhill. Boy, that was like a tabletop there. You could have just sent that and landed on that backside. Maybe next time. Yeah, right. But I just love this section. It's fast, still real chunky, but the bike was handling really nice. Up here, pretty steep downhill. This one, I'm gonna let the bike roll a little bit faster. I'm just kind of dabbing the front brake a little bit, just feathering it. It was flat, and the rocks weren't too bad. And right up the next little hill. Really fun. And this was just a fun part of the ride. I enjoyed it. I like when you got two options. You got the hard line or the easy line, and I try to force myself when it's possible to take the harder route and not just go with the easy way. I think it helps me learn a little thing or two. So I'm looking off. I'm still keeping the soccer ball in sight. But you'll be able to see it coming around here if you look to the right. The peak's off to the right. Right there, that peak, the tallest mountain to the right, that's where we're going. As I'm riding, I'm starting to get more used to no rear brake now. It's funny how fast you can adapt your riding style, so I'm starting to get a lot more confident without using the rear brake. So I'm going to start picking the harder lines that I would have went around without the rear brake. Now I'm just like, you know what, let's just go for it like this. Could have went right, but let's go hard. slow on that one. He needed to carry a little bit more momentum. Kyle gets the pass. Now he's leading. Kyle's really good. He's a really good rider. Look how chunky it is right here. It's amazing how the GoPro can keep the camera so steady when those handlebars are just banging around. Man, just listen to that 250 grunt. He needs a soundtrack when you got this baby just purring along. Nah, just kidding. Let's get the music going again. That's the real debate right there. What sounds better? The beat of the 4-stroke or the scream of the 2-stroke? I love the sound of the 4 strokes just thumping along, whereas the old 2-strokers, they're cutting down trees with a chainsaw. I'm always the map guy. Whenever we go riding anywhere, I'm the guy that knows where I'm going or knows where the trail is. Ooh, look at that big hole back there someone dug out. But I made my own little bag, a handle, or place to mount the bag between the handlebars. I know like Giant Loop and some other companies make some handlebar bags, and they're all good, but they're not what I want. I want to have my iPhone, because I use an off-road map that tells me where I'm going, and I want to hold my iPhone in front of me so I can see where the hell everything is. If I got to text someone or do whatever, just take a photo. It's easy to get out right in front of me. It needs to be protected in case the bike dumps or anything like that. And I use a mountain bike iPhone bag that I mount to this plate that I made between the handlebars, and it works really well. It's just the bags are cheap and the zippers always break, so I always going through bags left and right. There's a big hill climb. Kyle's going up first. He took the right side. I'm going to be taking the left side here. So I'm going to take the left side. I'm in second gear, which started a little slow, but then she caught on and tractored right up. Pulled, no problem. She had a lot of torque coming up there. It helped having the traction though. If that was sandy, I would have been stuck. But old 250 got her done. Nice. There's another really big hill climb on the way back after we hit the soccer ball. Kind of go over to this rocky knob, and we're just kind of fooling around looking for some single track and exploring kind of the mines that Nelson Hills have. And there was one big sandy hill that you needed the horsepower. The old 250 just didn't have enough on the really loose stuff, so I had to pick a new line where I got a bigger run up, more traction, but really didn't have too many complaints. The 250 can handle its business. All these big downhills just made your forearms burn. my forearms are just so exhausted after this race. Some of those downhills, man, you just putting all your pressure on it. You gotta stretch out the hands, get that blood flowing in them. we're finally getting close. It's taken forever to get here. On the video editing, it's taken forever. On the bike, I'm having fun, but sometimes these videos just go on and on and on. If people only knew how many hours you spent editing videos. But the soccer ball is coming up. So we got a couple more hills to climb, and then we're going to be at the top. Woohoo! This was a real steep drop off. That was almost like straight down right there. Keep this straight down. Those drop offs, you just got to let the tires roll. And let the suspension do its thing, and it'll do it. That's the hill climb right after that. But the guys are all doing good. Kyle and Colin are right behind me. I'm probably slow for them. They're really good at the flowy stuff. I like the hard technical stuff. The fast flowy left and right zig and zag snaking around. Colin and Kyle, they can smoke me. There to the right, you can see the soccer ball. It's in view. We're close. As we get close to the soccer ball there, the trail gets really rocky. It's got some nice, really chunky climbs coming up. You gotta be able to feather that clutch and be able to control the RPM of the bike, carry your momentum up. Look at that, that's beautiful. It's got this crazy spiky plants there. I don't know what kind of cactus that is. Should look this stuff up. Sorry, I got a little Bluey in the background. Got my son with me. He's watching Bluey. I record this stuff and I forget what's in the background sometimes, but oh well. Another issue I was having with the bike, as I go up here, I'm going to miss the gear shifting to neutral, and it happened several times throughout the rides coming up. I think the shift lever was bent up a little bit, and it was just not in the right best spot for my boot to be shifting. So I did that in several hill climbs. I'd be going up and I'd shift from second to first, and I'd go straight into neutral. Just kills your momentum every time. Getting really windy. Look at those bushes waving around in the wind. Yeah, man, towards these peaks, like it was blowing really hard. It makes throws your balance off actually a little bit. It's that windy.
This is hard with no back brake. hit the started.
Arrive to the top of the soccer ball trail, up on the peak. And you're not on top unless you're on the top. So we get the bikes all the way up there. There you go. It's a little steep drop off to the right there, but just don't pay attention to that. There's enough room. We get all 3 bikes up there. And from here, we're gonna head down the opposite side. And then there's a knoll out there, a rocky knoll that we're going to try to get over to. And then from there, do some mining, exploring, and we'll find some nice single track on the way back. We're just gonna head over to Knob Hill. It's up ahead of us, and do a little cross-country action, take little trails over there. There's a campgrounds over by Knob Hill that I've seen, so I just wanted to check it out, see if that'd be someplace I could stay with the trailer. And then there's a bunch of single track that start over there and head back into the hills where there's a ton of mines, like abandoned mines and stuff like that. That would be cool to just explore and look at. Here we go. Without that rear brake, this little downhill is going to get me. I'm going to come in a little hot, and there's a sharp right, and I'm just not able to get enough stop. And I'm going to slide into the other bank. Not hard, but those little things, you know, just crack you up, and they're not helping my confidence with the downhills. There you can see Knob Hill, about straight in front of us right there. So right next to it's that campground, so that's kind of where we're going. We got some sandy washes, and then a hill climb coming up that's going to take Colin out. It had Colin's name written all over it. So he struggled and gave us all the time to rest and have some good laughs at him as he was trying to get up the hill. Alright, here's Colin's Hill, right straight ahead of us there. There's not really much of a trail going up it, so it's going to be a little loose. People have gone up it, but it's not going to be easy. Although Kyle gets up first try, and then I'll get up the first try. And Colin. It's one of those hills, you know, we all had our hills. Sooner or later, there was just something that took each one of us out, and this was Colin's. So we had fun with it.
Right there.
Yeah, just kind of looking like where are you going to come up here, and you can see most runs went back to the left, but me and Kyle went up here, and the 250 just tractored up and went up no problem. It was pretty steep, but just the loose rocks is what made it tricky.
So let's take this one that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright. That's a good hill climb there.
Huh? Sometimes you just I gotta really get on that back seat, dude, and just fucking
Yeah.
get some weight back there. There it is. Whiskey. Good.
There's Colin coming up. He's going to get pretty far. Like I think this is the one he's going to take it. And then he just digs in, loses his momentum. And then Colin's going to make a boneheaded decision and go left and try to side hill it. And then he gets stuck down in this little valley between the hills. It's the worst. It's super steep, very loose, and he's just trying to work his way, just killing himself, trying to get up here.
I didn't know you wanted to go that hardcore. We'll start going
And
for you.
I walk around and tell him he can just go back side hilling and get back onto the main little trail that we climbed up, so that he can make another run at it.
You just gotta rest, you know.
He was
He was right here. Colin was there. Yeah. And then he did a backflip and landed down there maybe, I don't know. Should have had that in the GoPro. That was the pivot of the year. Yeah, right through there. You can even go a little lower or whatever.
At least it's not a 450 kickstart. That's what I had. It was brutal.
Yeah, well, that's just classic, you know, making a bad situation worse. All right, he's back on the main line, and he's going to run up here, no problem whatsoever. Look at that.
There it is.
How come you didn't do that in the beginning? Alright, Colin's up.
From here, we're going to start heading back to the trailer, but we're going to go through some mining country here. There's some abandoned mines here that we'll go through, and there's some actually abandoned homes and some other crazy things that are just kind of, you know, cool to look at, I guess. And all the mines are boarded up, and you can't really go in there. I'm sure there are some that you can go through, but the ones we saw had bars in front of them, which, you know, mines can be very dangerous, so it makes sense. And there are some active mines still, so be aware of where you're at when you're riding the hills, because there's still some active mining areas. I'm sure there's signs posted where they are, but where we rode, these are all abandoned.
It's sealed, yeah, they got another fence.
We should get a picture.
Alright.
I saw a pretty sweet looking hill climb, so we're gonna go find it right now. And it ends up being a pretty big one, probably the biggest of this day. And I'm gonna say the 250 is gonna shine, you'll see. Yeah, the 300 and the 250 YZX couldn't make it, but the old WR got her done. Just crazy, all this junk is still left everywhere, you know? There's a bunch of places that we're gonna go by, some homes, some like car lots and all just stuff that's just randomly out here left, abandoned. We're just looking for the beginning of the trail, and here it is. So here we go. It's gonna come up, and then we gotta swing right, and then we'll get a good look at this hill climb. I know the camera is kind of hard to see, but it's pretty big once you're there. Alright, there she is, the big mountain right there. It's a pretty tight trail all the way up, pretty steep, pretty rocky,
A little gnarly.
and has some loose sections.
Colin, take one.
Colin's got the first go at it,
Always
so
remember
we'll
that.
see
If
how
I
he
can do
does.
it,
That was good.
it's the rider that
I'm usually the
struggle.
first one that has to always go.
Yeah, the guinea pig.
Yeah. But sometimes you just make it up and it's like, yeah, got it done. And you get to watch the other struggle.
Oh, he went right. There's a ruddy section coming up. Oh!
Ooh. Left it is.
Alright, I'm up next. So let's go. Let's see what Roxy can do. The old WR. Time to shine, baby. Let's go, girl. Oh yeah, I almost ran a tarantula over right in the middle of the trail. There was a ton of tarantulas out here. I picked one up and held it with my hand on the road up here. Alright, I'm waiting for Colin to come back down. He went right, it splits right there. You can go right or you can go left. And once you get down here, right seems like the better choice. So that's what I'm going to take. Alright. Alright, don't think too much about it. You just got to pick your line and go. Alright, not too bad for the first attempt. Just gonna head down just a tiny bit. It's really steep and rocky here, but it flattens out just slightly, so I'm gonna go down to that spot, flip around, and then hit the rest of the hill climb.
it. Let's go, Colin. Oh, he took the left line. Comes Kyle. Let's go. Start. There you go. Get it, get it. There it is. All right, that was actually the hardest part. Keep on the gas. Keep on that. Balance, balance.
So Kyle didn't quite make it up. It's a really steep, rocky section there. I come walk down, try to get a better view. He tries it one more time, doesn't make it up, and then he's gonna call it. Heads back down the mountain, and I'm gonna ride up the mountain a little bit and go over, see if the trail connects, but it doesn't. So here I am going back down the way it just came up, and going back down was still pretty tricky. You know, I have no rib brake. And it was steep, but made it down, and then we ended up having to find another route up for the boys. Coming up to that real steep section in the beginning of the climb that was causing a lot of trouble. It's really ruddy on the right side there, and they're both kind of ruddy, but that right side was really ruddy. That'd be tough, but I came up the left side here, and it's steep. It's a little loose, so at that bend down there, you really gotta get on the gas and let that momentum carry you up. Get on, you know, you're like up in them handlebars trying to keep your balance. It's steep. up here, there's a boat on top of the hill, and there's a boat that's just abandoned here, and I think it had tags from 1993. So random. As we're riding around out here, you know, we're passing by several abandoned properties. Or maybe they're not abandoned, they're just not in use. Maybe remodeling, because it's like the hills have eyes. Coming up here is a property where they've brought out a lot of stuff. Like, someone had big plans on this place, and they were even had some handicap rails and stuff like that. You know, I don't know. It's fascinating to see what people, their dreams, what they're doing out here. You know, some of these mines are really old. This place looks fairly new, and I mean, I'd say the last 5 years, someone was out there trying to make something happen. It's crazy. All right, but it's time to get home. We're starting to get worn out, and I'm getting hungry. So let's head on back. That was a nice hill climb right there. Nice and chunky. Look at that view. Alright, downhill. Let's do it. Alright, we survived that downhill section, but this is going to be the steep one. Ooh, look at that. That is steep, and rocky, and loose. Ooh, you can do it. You can do it. Just stay in control. Let it roll. Let's go. this was the little hill that was taking me out. Every time I'd start, I just got this real soft start, and my back end sliding all over. I couldn't get any momentum. Meanwhile, Kyle and Colin just fly up here like it was nothing. It's not a big hill climb, but it had my number on it. It took me 3 tries, and I had to do a separate line, so then I cut over here. Finally, I make it to the top. They're waiting for me. But it's just how it is sometimes. That hill had my number. So there's a big hill that we're gonna hit there on the right, on the horizon, and it's gonna be another really soft, kind of sandy, real gravelly climb, and all 3 of us are gonna struggle up it. We're picking this line, we're picking that line, so several times making passes, having to turn around and then hit it again. And finally, we make it up to the top, and there's some rangers. There's 2 ranger trucks, and there's like a homeless encampment or something. There's tents, and they're out talking to those guys, so we don't stick around. We're like, all right, let's get the hell out of here. I don't know what's going on, but none of our business. And that's about it for this trip here in Nelson Hills, Nevada. It's a cool area. Check it out. We're on a like a week-long off-road tour. We call it the OAF, which is Operation American Freedom. We do this a couple years now. And every day for about 10 days, we're hitting a new off-road area. So it's pretty fun, and it's exhausting, but it's one of those trips you just can't miss out on. Thanks for watching. Next stop is going to be Mesquite, Nevada. It has some really big hills there. I don't know how the 250 is going to do. We'll see. Till then, get out and ride and get some. Ew!